Welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, streaming live on the internet at regionsports.com, facebook.com/regionsports, and youtube.com/regionsports. We come to you today from the John A. Barato Athletic Center as Region Sports Network presents coverage of a matchup between two of the area's top teams as the Lake Central Indians take on the East Chicago Central Cardinals. I'm Andrew Mile. I'll have the play-by-play for tonight's broadcast. And joining me with the color analysis is Jay Simmons. Good evening, Jay.
Hey, great to be here. Great to be back to my old stomping grounds. We were just talking about it off the air. Started my teaching career here 33 years ago, so it's been a long time coming back here.
Well, welcome back to East Chicago Central at the John A. Barato Athletic Center. This place is gorgeous. It's a cathedral of basketball, and tonight, Jay, we have two really good teams, LC and East Chicago Central. But for the Cardinals, they came off a comeback victory against Gary Westside. They were down 14. They ended up winning, capturing the Great Lakes Conference Championship. But here's the thing you have to think about. This is their first game in 11 days.
Wow, so they got a little bit of a break, but also they are on a 9-game winning streak. Their last loss was Chicago Kenwood 72-59, and that came on December 25th, so they are red hot.
They're red hot at the right time, and this is their first home game since they took on Hammond Central here a month ago on January 2nd, where you mentioned they've been on that long winning streak. That was a part of their winning streak, but they're hosting the team that not only beat them twice last year, but knocked them out of the sectionals. What does Chicago got to do to redeem themselves against the Indians?
They've got to have pace. They've got to get that ball up and down the court, get that ball in transition, and get that ball off before Lake Central can install that very, very aggressive man-to-man defense.
But for the Indians, they were the hottest team in this part of the state. Everybody was talking about Lake Central. They had won 13 straight games. Then they lost back-to-back and then redeemed themselves with a big win against Maryville, winning 64-48. Jay, you've told me coming into this broadcast, you've seen Lake Central a few times. What makes this team special than any other team in this part of the state?
And I just mentioned it, their defense. They pick up a tight man-to-man. They do not let anybody shoot the ball without a hand in their face, and they're playing very aggressive defense, 2 or 3 steps past the three-point line. And what Chesterton did a couple weeks ago against them is they set a lot of back screens, a lot of back cuts, because if you extend the defense out that far, that is one problem with that defense going out that far is those back cuts and back screens. There's going to be somebody popping open, and Chesterton took advantage of it. Let's see what East Chicago Central can do tonight.
Well, you mentioned the LC defense, the defensive points per game. What teams are scoring against them, an average, is 41.7. That is just flat out ridiculous. East Chicago Central is going to have their hands full, but luckily for them, they have one of the best scorers in the state in Dominique Murphy. But he struggled against LC last year. Is he going to be able to come back out here today and beat these Indians?
Well, it's all about pace for East Chicago. If they can get that ball past midcourt and get into their offensive set before Lake Central is able to get into their defense, I think they're going to have a great night tonight. And then Murphy, averaging 20 points a game, 21 points a game, is going to be having a very good night. So it all depends on how fast their transition can go. If they can set the pace of play.
We're less than a minute away from tip-off. We're going to step aside for a quick break. It's the Lake Central Indians and the East Chicago Central Cardinals as they're on Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, this is Tim down at Tire Pros and Auto Superstore, 5200 Cleveland in Maryville. 219-887-3333 is our phone number. We've been serving the region and building relationships with our valued customers for the past 23 years. We have a wide variety of services, quality tires with the best warranty in the nation, and some of the most skilled mechanics I've ever worked with. Let us exceed your expectations. We're setting a new standard. Come on down, ask for Mike or Tim. We'll take excellent care of you. Thank you.
Shopping for a vehicle? Tech Credit Union is offering special loan rates on 2018 to 2024 cars, trucks, and Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Now's a great time to buy new, used, or refinance a higher rate loan for another lender. Let Tech Credit Union show why they are the better option for a vehicle loan. To learn more, visit techcu.org or call them at 800-276-TECH. That's 800-276-TECH. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender. Offer may end without notice.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's yes gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched with so gallantly streaming, and the rockets gleaming, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the
A beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. Andrew Mild here with Jay Simmons as we get ready for basketball action in East Chicago, Indiana. We're going through the starting lineups at the moment, and we'll start off with the Lake Central Indians. It's going to be Spencer Gale, Dorian Beatty, Xavier Williams, Zach Green, and Jake Smith. Jay, you've seen this team. Which one of those players really stands out to you?
It really goes all around Jake Smith, averaging 16 points a game. He's an inside-outside guy. If he can get hot from the outside, then that just makes him that much better on the inside. Xavier Williams, shooting 35% from the three-point line. If he can get hot, get some open looks, that really spreads the defense out, and then they can attack the inside. Lake Central is good once they get into their sets and able to move the ball around. They are very efficient.
One of the best front courts in the state in Williams and Smith. And for the East Chicago Central, their starting lineup, Jameel Rich Jr., the point guard, he hit a huge three against Gary Westside Leadership Academy. Keontae Bell, Marquise Winters, Dominique Murphy, and Yamari Wallace. Jay, everyone talks about Dominique Murphy. And of course, as Coach Alan Maruri told me, I'd be crazy if I didn't give him the ball and tell him to go score. But he goes, but this is a team effort. If we want to make a big run and try to bring back another state title to East Chicago, other guys got to contribute too.
Well, look, I mean, you look at some of the stats, especially points per game. You've got three guys averaging 10 points or better a game. That's distributing the ball. You've got Richards averaging 4 assists a game, and also as a guard, he's averaging 5 rebounds a game. That's pretty unheard of. And then you got Murphy. He's almost averaging a double-double. I mean, he's averaging 9.7 rebounds, 21 points per game. So, I mean, those are your go-to guys. And then again, I think one of the things that Lake Central is going to struggle a little bit with is the size on the inside.
So they're still going through the starting lineup of East Chicago Central. But this is a good time to tell you the Tuesday night forecast is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast is it's 37 degrees here in early February. Perfect basketball weather.
Yes, it is.
I'll tell you one thing. I think it's going to heat up in here tonight between these two teams.
Yeah, especially if they get in transition. It's going to be a battle of two. Lake Central on one side with a strong defense, and East Chicago wanting to push and score as many points. If it's a high-scoring game, I favor East Chicago. If it's low-scoring, low pace, I got to go with Lake Central.
Lake Central, coached by Ryan Sexton. It's his first year with the program. He's going up against Ala Marui, who's just 23 years old. Currently, his record as head coach of the Cardinals is 24-6, already securing a conference championship. We've done all the talking. We previewed you for this game. We're all prepped up and ready to go. But we got to play this game.
Yes, we do. Let's get it started.
And here we go. Jake Smith, the 6'6 senior forward, will go up against Gamari Wallace, who's also 6'6. He's a junior guard / forward, a hybrid player. And here we go. The win is for East Chicago Central as it goes to Keontae Bell. He'll set up the offense against this very stingy Lake Central defense.
As you can see, they extend that defense all the way out to the three-point line.
And that's what Lake Central's going to look for, Jay. They're going to look for East Chicago to settle for threes, and they get a miss there from Wallace. Lake Central, first time holding on to the basketball. A lot of back screens. And this is where the guy they want to get to down low, Jake Smith, who goes to his right, looks for the layup, and he banks it in. 2 points. The Lake Central Indians are the first ones on the board.
Yeah, Jake Smith with a little spin move, kiss off the glass. He can do that all night.
It's almost unguardable. They get into the corner to Murphy. Murphy hits it. Dominique Murphy, who shot just 1 for 6 for 3 against Gary Westside. Hits his first attempt tonight and gives the Cardinals the lead. It's now 3-2 early on.
If you're a shooter, you keep shooting.
And the ball is lost by Green. Here comes the Cardinals. 2 points. Keontae Bell got the steal. He goes coast for coast. And the Cardinals have gone on a 5-0 run.
Yeah, Keontae Bell with a nice steal right there. Picks it up, takes it. Now the pace, if they can get that pace going.
And there's a foul down low. There was a Cardinal on the ground, but they're going to pin it on Jamel Rich Jr. That's the first foul of the game. Not sure what happened. We were looking out by center court following the ball, but
he tried to set a position, and then he called it a little block foul.
Starting to get a little chippy already between these two teams. You had to think that the Cardinals, as we mentioned in the pregame show, good hands there by Rich to knock it away, and a block by Winters. Good defense by the Cardinals, and Lake Central is going to reset after they get the rebound on the block shot.
Yeah, Lake Central's got to get into their sets.
Pull-up jumper, too strong by Green.
Yeah, they got to settle for better shots.
Here's Murphy. He's going to pull up. Foot was on the line, and it's not going to matter as he misses, but a hustle play by Wallace. Wallace going baseline. Wallace going to kick it back out. Bell already scored on a layup after a steal. East Chicago Central pulling it back out, going to reset. East Chicago leading by 3. Lake Central, look at them extend that defense. He's all the way out there. He's at half court.
Yeah, that's part of the defense right there. That's all hustle by Lake Central.
Rich into the cutting Bell. Bell didn't like what he had there as Gale was able to cut him off by the free throw line. And, man, this has been a long possession, but you have to give credit to East Chicago Central for not panicking, not settling here. Low pass. Wallace will shoot it anyway, and Wallace drains it from the corner.
Yeah, he was in the first row of the bleachers right there when he shot that one. But great shot. He was able to set his feet, get a clean look.
An 8-0 run set up by 2 threes by East Chicago Central. Smith trying to slow down this run, and there's Jake Smith cooking in the paint.
Spin going the opposite way, goes right to the basket on the left-hand side. Again, unstoppable.
We're going to see 2 Indiana All-Stars in Dominique Murphy and Jake Smith, and right now they're fitting the billing. Here's a jumper, and Winters, Pierre.
Winters averaging just 5 points a game. Sinks it one right at the elbow.
Well, now look at East Chicago Central. They're going to put Bell out there to try to do the same thing Lake Central does on defense and guard them at the half-court line.
Yeah, they look a little stagnant right now on offense, on their offensive set. They got to keep going with those screens.
Well, Green has it. He's going to hand it off to Smith. They're out by the three-point line. They've been hanging out there for a while, looking to attack, pull it back out. Smith can shoot from there. Big guy, but he's all-around good player as Murphy hits the ground. Wallace is trying to knock it away. Coming down the lane is Williams. Williams can't convert. Rebound, and it's Dominique Murphy.
Yeah, Xavier Williams tried to draw some contact. No foul called. Good job by the officials letting him play.
Dominique Murphy pulled down another rebound. Not only is he a great scorer, but can also clean the glass when he needs to. He has recorded 7 double-doubles this year. His most recent was in their last game against Gary Westside. Rich, no. He was open in the corner. There's a little off to the right, and Lake Central can breathe a sigh of relief. That's not a 13-4 game.
And again, Lake Central walking the ball up the court. Xavier Williams with an open look.
Smith tried to get the rebound and asked for a foul as there was 3 white jerseys down there, but the referee right there said no, that was clean. Referee trying to post down low, and Xavier Williams is guarding him, and the referee's going to call Williams for the hold. That's the first foul on him and the first team foul on Lake Central.
Yeah, you got to look at the size matchup right there. Xavier Williams at 5'11", and Dominique Murphy at 6'6", so there's a little size differential right there.
Dominique Murphy, a lengthy 6'6", as he catches the inbound, splits 2 defenders and tosses it in. What a move by Dominique Murphy.
Yeah, and then he knew exactly that he had the size advantage. Once he gets close to the hole, he's going to take it all the way.
Dominique Murphy headed into this game with 1,000. And there's a nice pass to the back-cutting Zachary Green, but they said that Murphy got a piece. Rich going down low. Couldn't be regained. Here's a 3. No, left short. That was Yamari Wallace. Still a 12-4 game.
Yeah, so far East Chicago with 3 blocked shots.
Gale attacking, gets it to Smith. Smith is going to shoot from just inside the three-point line and knock it down. About 17 feet out.
Well, it's East Chicago Central 12, Smith 6.
Jake Smith scoring all 6 points for the Indians, and they're going to call a carry, I believe, on Yamari Wallace, and they said
5-second count.
5-second
But
count.
you know what? You saw the hand come up and like this, so you couldn't tell whether it was one or the other.
Smith in the paint, blocked. Dominique Murphy going up against Jake Smith. Wallace down the lane. Wallace will convert the and one opportunity. There it is. There's that pace that you're talking about, Jay, for East Chicago Central. Yamari Wallace catches the ball in stride, lays up, gets the foul, and he's going to go to the line.
Yeah, again, that pace that we talked about in the pregame, East Chicago's starting to set it, and they're starting to get out and make some easy baskets in transition.
Wallace shot 7 for 8 from the free throw line in their game against the Cougars. That was something that East Chicago needed desperately when they started off very slow. They're not starting slow today. You can tell for East Chicago it's personal as Bell takes the cookies and he makes a nice fake, gets around Green, and goes up for 2. Timeout. Coach Sexton of Lake Central. It's going to be a full timeout, and East Chicago Central is up by 10. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back as you're watching Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack & Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual card, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strack & Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
We welcome you back as Keontae Bell had the steal that turned into a layup. And Jay, take us through that play real quick.
Yeah, Keontae Bell just makes a nice steal. Gets it out in the open court and makes the layup. Nice job. That is what we like to call Bricklayers local 4 best hands in the business. Keontae Bell with the easy layup. Join Bricklayers Local 4 and start building your career today. Visit baclocal4.org to find out more.
Smith gets the offensive rebound after a missed 3 from Green. Smith getting double team, gets it to a cutting Gale, and Gale converts on the layup. Jake Smith, all-around player, getting the assist.
Yeah, great job. Gale drew a lot of contact there. Again, no foul. Like I said, I like it the way the officials are calling this game.
They knew it was going to be a physical one. They'll only intervene if they need to. Let these boys play some basketball. Spin move, and it's lost by Wallace. He's made a smart move there without forcing it, kicking it back out. Rich down the lane. Rich to Murphy, and Murphy went up for the pass, and he fell down on Williams. Williams will be charged with another foul. That is the 3rd on Lake Central, the 2nd on Williams.
Yeah, Williams just got caught in no man's land right there, got caught underneath him, and as he was going up, the body just caught him.
Noah Sabador will come in for Williams, who is in foul trouble early. And for Coach Marui of East Chicago Central, you got to be excited about that, to take out one of the starters of Lake Central so early. With a minute to go in the first quarter, it's 16-8 Cardinals, and there's a steal. Ball's on the ground. Everybody's diving for it, and it's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to go to the Indians.
And again, right there, Zachary Green picking the pocket. That's a Bricklayers Local 4 best hands in the business. Check out the baclocal4.org to find out how you can join the oldest continuous union in North America.
Bell harassing Gale to half court line, but Gale has an open lane, and Gale is going to soar by the cup and put it in.
Well, a defensive lapse right there, allowing an easy layup.
And then there's a steal. Pull-up jumper? No.
Got to take that one to the rack.
Coach Sexton's not going to be happy about that one. Rich into the corner. Wallace going at Smith, kicking it back out. Here's a 3 from Bell, and it's good. Bell claps his hands as he goes down the court as number 3 hits a 3. Getting close to the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, Bell did a great job setting his feet, getting a good look, nailed it.
Gale has the ball stolen away. Rich versus Smith. Smith contested it, got the miss. Ball rolling out of bounds, and it's going to belong to the Cardinals. Jake Smith asking how that belongs to East Chicago Central, but then the referee is going to change his call. Now it belongs to the boys in blue.
Well, you know, both of those officials had 2 different looks at it, so there was a good job of them talking it out right there.
2.2 seconds, so we'll see what Lake Central can do here. They're going for the football pass, tipped away. Here's a half-court heave, and it's going to land into the seats that are behind the basket. But we're through 1 quarter of play. East Chicago Central commands a 9-point lead, as we'll be back on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
And we are back. As you're watching Game Night in the Region on the internet at facebook.com/regionsports, youtube.com/regionsports, and regionsports.com. Andrew Mild, Jay Simmons, and Jay, that was a thrilling first quarter. We got 3 more to go.
Yeah, we do, and it was very physical. Great job by the officials not trying to dominate the game and letting the guys play.
An offensive putback opportunity there for Gregory Williams, a 6'7" forward, checking into the game after the commercial break. And Lake Central trying to cut into this Cardinals lead. It's 19-10. Jay, what are you looking for the Indians, I should say?
You got to get a good set here, work around, try and take the ball to the basket. Don't settle for some bad threes. It looked like a travel call right there, missed by the officials.
Open 3 from way downtown, and hit off the glass and rolled away. Yamari Wallace, the Swiss Army knife for the Cardinals, pulls down the rebound. Murphy with a huge hop step there, gets it to Rich. Rich to the back cut. Rich with a drop off to Gregory Williams. Gregory Williams will take that any day. Thank you.
Gregory Williams did a nice job coming from the backside, filled a lane that was empty by all the defense swarming to the ball.
I know there's going to be a lot of coaches. They're going to say that's a chef's kiss right there.
Yes,
Strung some passes together. Nice, easy layup. That's what the Indians usually do to other teams. That's what they did against Maryville.
Yep, and now Lake Central's got to get this offense set and get it moving. They've got to stem the tide here.
The Indians head into this game at 14-2. Smith, oh man, he's got 8 of the 12 points for the Indians.
Yeah, somebody else has got to start stepping up offensively for the Indians.
Williams out to the corner. Wallace going up against Smith. He elevates, and Yamari Wallace showing off his strength as he draws the foul from Salvador. He's going to the line again.
Yeah, what a great job. Nice take right there to the rack, and strong with his hands, and was able to get that ball up through the foul and make the basket. The old-fashioned three-point play on the line.
The good old-fashioned three-point play. The second time Yamari Wallace will try to convert it. The last time he was unsuccessful on the free throw attempt, as there seemed to be some miscommunication between East Chicago Central and some of their players. It looks like they're trying to send back their 2 tallest players in Williams and Dominique Murphy, because going down low is London Walker and Jameel Rich. Correction, that's Keontae Bell.
Yeah, you would think Lake Central might have when wondering why Jake Smith is coming out of the game. He's really their only guy that's able to score right now. He's got to pull something together, Coach Sexton. It seems like they're in disarray.
Yeah, this is, I believe, a 30-second timeout, and it is. So we'll stay here. It's 24-12 Cardinals. But, Jay, I'll tell you, I've done 2 games these last couple of weeks. I saw East Chicago Central come back from 14, and then last week I saw Michigan City come back from 16. There's still plenty of time left for the Indians to get back into this.
Yeah, and again, you know, here we are talking about pace. They've got to slow the pace down, Lake Central does. Work their magic offensively with some back screens, good cutting. The thing about Lake Central is they're not able to get that ball in the paint. The size of East Chicago, the length of East Chicago with 4 block shots already is really disrupting Lake Central in the paint.
Well, Coach Ryan Sexton, his first year with Lake Central, is a third-generation coach. His grandfather was a head coach as Smith goes up, and he gets fouled as the ball rolls out. He's going to go to the line for 2, but his grandfather was a head coach at Butler from 1977 to 1989. His father was a coach. He coached at St. Joseph for a while, going 180 and 212 during that span. And he said this is the job that he was looking for, coming over to Lake Central, and he's had himself a phenomenal year. They're 14-2, trying to get a big win here on the road.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. They're just not up to the speed that East Chicago has, but they're gonna battle, and it's going to be a great game.
Both free throws converted by Jake Smith. That already puts him into double digits. Wow. Knew he was good, and he's averaging around 16 points a game. At this rate, he's going to surpass that average and then some. That's why we call it an average. You just never know how that player is going to perform on a given day.
Well, you know, Lake Central's got 3 guys that are averaging in double digits, so any guy who's going to be hot that night, they're going to go to. Nice take right there by Yamari Wallace.
As I mentioned earlier, Jay, Amari Wallace in their game against Gary Westside, he got to the free throw line 8 times, and calling that game, it always felt like it was at a really convenient time for East Chicago Central. And you see right there, he's slowing down Lake Central's offense by forcing them to sort of inbound it, and then coach is sending back his tallest players.
Yep, well, now Jake Smith just picked up his second foul. What do you do
so not only
personnel-wise?
So not only is Jake Smith in foul trouble, but also in the first quarter, Xavier Williams got into foul trouble. And those are your top 2 leading scorers out of the game.
Yep. Lake Central's going to have to find somebody to do something here. They got to step up big time with that 11-point deficit.
Well, might be up to Zachary Green, but Spencer Gale had a good game against Maryville. Really showed off his court general skills. Here's the 3, and that was a brick tossed up by Green.
Yeah, Gregory Williams got a hand in his face.
London Walker tosses it up. As he really forced it there, Lake Central put down the clamps on the left-handed guard.
Yeah, he just threw that up. That was a bad play right there. Got to set that ball up. You got a nice lead. Take advantage of it.
Lake Central watches Beatty feed it down low. Back out. Gale going to his right. Pulls up from the mid-range, and Gale left is short. Dominique Murphy soaring into the air. You might see Dominique Murphy take over this basketball game with the 2 stars for Lake Central heading out. And there's some good hands. Lake Central's got numbers. 3-on-2. Gale going up, and Gale gets a friendly roll as it goes around the world. It tickles the twine on the way down.
Nice job, Lake Central, getting a transition, couple easy points right there.
There's once again the best hands in the business. Lake Central is showcasing their defense. Walker left it short. Murphy rebound as he pushes off Zach Green. And I know the official scores aren't going to give London Walker the assist, but it kind of looked like that. It's a full timeout, so that means we can take a break as you're watching Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Back inside the John A. Barato Athletic Center in East Chicago, Indiana. Andrew Mild and Jay Simmons. Not only are we on Facebook, YouTube, and RegionSports.com, but we're getting fancy. We're also on Instagram Live. Hello, everyone in the Instagram world. Welcome in. Happy that you're joining us for a powerhouse sort of game between East Chicago and Lake Central, as it will be a steal for the Cardinals after Coach Alamarui used his first timeout, and they're trying to see if they can extend this lead. They're currently up 11.
And Lake Central's gone deep into their bench. They only have 2 starters out there.
Bad pass by Murphy, trying to force it as Gale will take it down the floor, kick it into the corner as the Indians trail by 11. There is a wide open 3-point attempt by Noah Inyert, and Inyert will go down the floor empty-handed as that ball hit over the basket, and it will force East Chicago to inbound it.
They had a clean look, just got to hit those.
He was wide open. I don't know if his man knew that he was guarding him at that rate.
And no, Inyard only a sophomore, so he's gonna grow into the position.
Gonna get plenty of chances. Rich with the crossover, back out to Murphy. Murphy here at three-pointer earlier. He's gonna go for the mid-range jumper here, and Dominique Murphy does what he does best, score the rock.
Yeah, and a nice job right there. One-step dribble, just takes a clean look, nails it.
What's impressive about Dominique Murphy, he's only a junior. Vineyard will get another three-point opportunity, and this is off the back rim. Ball being tipped around, and there's a pass down the floor, and it was knocked away by the safety, it felt like, and Dorian Beatty. But instead, Yamari Wallace tried to reach back and regain that basketball, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Dorian Beatty saved the slam dunk right there. They would have erupted this building.
A good amount of fans here as it's the second annual East Chicago Youth Athletics Night. As this was started by Coach Alamaruri a season ago, somebody takes great pride in trying to rebuild this East Chicago Central basketball program. Jumper, good. Dorian Beatty with the ball fake, dribble down low, get into the free throw line, and then knock it down, and then there's a silly foul by Gale.
Yeah, that's 30 feet from the basket. You don't need those kind of fouls. The only good thing about that is it slowed East Chicago down. They've got to get into their offensive set here.
I don't know if there's an empty seat left in this gym right now, Jay. They're really packed in here like sardines.
Yeah, at the lower level here, it is completely packed all the way around.
LC fans to our right, East Chicago Central fans to our left. Rich loses the ball. It's a foot race down the floor, and it's blocked! Oh my goodness! How do you like me now? Yamari Wallace!
Yamari Wallace with a great block right there. That could go up as one of the plays of the game right there.
Jameel Rich Jr. capitalizes on this side of the floor. He gets 2 points after the hop step. 13-point advantage for the Cardinals on their home floor.
Oh, this place is getting excited loud.
Gale lost it. It's back out. They're swinging it around. Slowing it down is Beatty. Evan Geller with his first touch tonight. As we've seen some guys head out of the game with foul trouble, that being Jake Smith and Xavier Williams. Something to keep a tab on as this game goes along. Here's an attack. Going up strong is Zach Green, and he'll draw the foul. He'll go to the line and try to make this a 10-point game.
And all of a sudden you hear the Lake Central side over here take a sigh of relief to try and stem this lead going into the halftime with 1:43 left in the second quarter.
Well, Coach Sexton also breathing a sigh of relief. He was starting to feel these Cardinal fans stir, and they're about to erupt. But right there, able to silence them just for a little bit longer as we have 103 seconds to go in the first half. Can East Chicago Central go on another run and extend this lead? Or is Lake Central about to go on their own run and get back into this? Rich Jr. to Winters. They're trying to feed Murphy. Murphy going out, and Murphy got hit hard. We'll see who the foul is on, but
there's the cluster of Lake Central players around. Let's see who gets the foul out of that one.
And it's going to be Zach Green, another starter.
Yeah, and that's only his first.
That's good news for Coach Sexton.
Yeah, you don't need all your starters coming into the second half when you're going to have to extend their play when you're down 10 points. Picking up 2 fouls.
The only starters that are out there right now are his 2 guards, the junior Spencer Gale and his senior guard, Dorian Beatty. You see him right there, right next to Dominic Murphy, who hit the front end of a pair of free throws. And he'll get the friendly roll for a second.
Now East Chicago extending the defense full court. See how Lake Central can handle the pressure.
This is something they use against Gary Westside to get back into it. Lake Central having a hard time. Gale attacking, gets past some Cardinals, goes for the Euro step, tosses it up, doesn't hit anything. Ball tipped back out as Lake Central get an opportunity to reset their offense with just about a minute to go in the first half. They're trailing by 12.
Got to get a good set here. Work the ball into the lane, trying to get a good shot.
Geller, the 6'5" takes it back out. Salvador for 3 off the side rim. Another rebound collected by Dominique Murphy. East Chicago Central with 48 seconds. These fans have to appreciate what they've seen in this first half. Here's a screen by Winters. 3 ball on the way. No. Rebound by Winters. And Winters looks like he lost it on the way up as that ball sailed over the rim and onto the other side.
Winters should have just grabbed that ball, passed it out, and reset the play.
Starting to feel like March already, Jay. Playoff atmosphere here in early February. An early treat, you would say.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be a good one.
Nice pass to Geller. Back out as Beatty sees that there's only 10 seconds left.
They got to set the play, get it going.
And a miscommunication. It sails by Gale. East Chicago Central was 7 seconds. We get the toss up, one more shot, and Coach Marui is going to put Yamari Wallace back in.
Bringing in some shooters.
Isaiah Julks is out, and London Walker, who is a 41% three-point shooter, is in. Marquise Winters will sit the bench for these last 7 seconds. And a foul. And that's the 5th foul on Lake Central. That's going to send Rich to the line.
And that is Spencer Gill's 2nd foul. Poor decision right there.
Coach Ryan Sexton not too happy with what he saw to close out
Absolutely
this first half.
He is not a happy camper. I don't want to be going into that locker room.
First free throw is good. Some late substitutions. 34-21. If Rich can hit this one, he could send us into halftime with East Chicago Central leading by 14. Currently, they lead by 13. All the players communicating on the floor about what they're going to do to close out this first half with 5.8 seconds up on the board. And Jameel Richard Jr. hits both of them. 75% free throw shooter. Toss up and no good. And East Chicago Central will send their Cardinals back into the locker room with a round of applause, and that's rightfully deserved. They played an excellent opening half as they lead by 14 against Lake Central, Jay.
It was all about that tempo. They were able to push it, get Lake Central out of their defensive sets, and also pick up 2 fouls on Jake Smith and Xavier Williams early in this quarter. Xavier Williams didn't play the whole second quarter, and Jake Smith did not play the last 4.5 minutes of the second quarter. So East Chicago able to put the pressure on Lake Central with their personnel.
We're going to take a break, and we'll come back with the halftime show as we'll discuss the meat of the matter as the East Chicago Central Cardinals lead it 35-21 as you're watching Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
This box is small, like Pet Supplies Plus. This one is large, like a big box store. In each, stew, and a toy. Question is, which dog will find it first? Ta-da! Moose, no! You were so close.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of service, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
How far would you go to live another game night in the region? Well, lucky for you, you don't have to go far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Region Sports so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on all of our social media platforms. # Remember the Region.
You're watching Game Night in the Region on the internet at facebook.com/regionsports, youtube.com/regionsports, Region Sports on Instagram, and regionsports.com. Andrew Mild Jay Simmons as we go into our halftime show. And Jay, the game difference maker, why East Chicago is leading. What's the meat of the matter going into this halftime with East Chicago Central leading by 14?
It's a couple factors. One is Lake Central lost two of their biggest scorers in that second quarter with Xavier Williams and Jake Smith coming out of the game, and Jake Smith really carried them offensively. He was their go-to guy the first 5 minutes of the game. He had the first 10 points for Lake Central, and then he had to sit the last 4.5 minutes of the second quarter with 2 fouls. One was, a good foul, went for a rebound, got a foul. The second one, he just got caught trying to block a shot and hacked, I think it was DeMarco Murray. And so he got 2 fouls with 4.5 minutes left in that second quarter, had to come out. So that really hampered Lake Central. And then secondly was the pace of the game. It really favored, and we talked about it at the beginning of the game. If it's going to be a high-scoring game, which this is, you look at the score, East Chicago Central is going to end up, if you just double the score, they're going to end up with 70 points. And Lake Central's meat of the matter is their defense is where they go with what they do, and they are only giving up 41 points a game. So it looks like the tail has flipped on Lake Central. Now they got to come out and bang home some points.
Yeah, you said spot on there, Jay. Lake Central only allows 41.7 points. East Chicago Central is already at 35. And one of the things you and I talked about is that the Cardinals haven't played in 11 days. We thought maybe they'd come out a little rusty. I didn't see them struggle at all to get back into it.
No, they kicked off the rust in the pregame because they came out excited, and it looked like their legs were rested. So they were running up and down the court as fast as they could, and they were spot on. I mean, you look at Lake Central field goals. They were 0 for 5 from the three-point line, 9 for 26 overall at 35%. And part of that is the shot blockers by East Chicago. We saw some great blocks. They had 5 block shots in that first half, so they were not able to get that ball in the paint and do what they do best. I mean, you talk about Jake Smith was the only guy on the inside able to score any points.
I feel like we were kind of Jake Smith was stolen from us with him getting in the foul trouble the way that he was scoring the rock early on, playing some really solid defense. And you said it spot on, too. Lake Central's offense really slowed down after he went out of the game. But we have to look at the glass half full. You have your 2 best players, your 2 leading scorers, coming back out with fresh legs. So maybe with those 2 guys coming out of the locker room with fresh legs, might be able to get them back into this one against East Chicago Central, who is riding a wave of momentum as we're 3.5 minutes from getting out of halftime. What do you think LC's got to do if they want to win this game?
They definitely have got to slow down East Chicago on the inside. East Chicago is 13 for 24 in their field goal attempts, 54%, 3 of 8 from the three-point line. And Lake Central 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and East Chicago 6 of 8. So they got to make sure they keep their key players out there in the second half. Lake Central does. And again, East Chicago with that size differential has definitely got to take advantage of it and keep the pace, keep the pressure on, and work that ball inside for some good baskets.
Well, we're seeing the Indians come out of their respective locker room, and Jay, I have to say, they look locked in. You said I wouldn't want to be in that locker room. I wouldn't want to be either. Coach Ryan Sexton wasn't very happy, especially with some of the fouls that they committed.
Correct.
But they were about half court, one right at the end before halftime started kicking off when there was a silly foul that sent Jamil Rich Jr. to the line. He knocked 2 of them. That's where we're at right now at 35-21. Starting to see some white jerseys head towards their doors that lead back into the gym as both sides are starting to warm up. The clock has stopped at 3 minutes.
Well, they got looks like elementary school basketball night here. They're shooting up some threes on the far side away from the Lake Central team. See if he can bang any home. He's rimmed a couple right out.
He's been pretty close a few times as Lake Central has taken this side of the floor. But, Jay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back as that is the meat of the matter, courtesy of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Blythe's Athletics in Valparaiso, whose team has been serving your team since 1959, is a leader in athletic apparel and equipment sales. Whether it's off the rack or customized to your specifications, Blythe's has the products and staff to serve you best. Trophies, embroidering, screen printing, athletic shoes, anything you're looking for, you'll find at Blythe's. Visit them today at teamblythes.com, where the athlete shops.
Centrally located in downtown Indianapolis, the Hampton Inn is just steps away from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Situated at 105 South Meridian Street, shopping, restaurants, entertainment, and many Indianapolis attractions are in near proximity. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a gym fitness center. For reservations, the number is 317-261-1200. The website is hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Hi, this is Tim down at Tire Pros and Auto Superstore, 5200 Cleveland in Maryville. 219-887-3333 is our phone number. We've been serving the region and building relationships with our valued customers for the past 23 years. We have a wide variety of services, quality tires with the best warranty in the nation, and some of the most skilled mechanics I've ever worked with. Let us exceed your expectations. We're setting a new standard. Come on down, ask for Mike or Tim. We'll take excellent care of you. Thank you.
Shopping for a vehicle? Tech Credit Union is offering special loan rates on 2018 to 2024 cars, trucks, and Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Now's a great time to buy new, used, or refinance a higher rate loan for another lender. Let Tech Credit Union show why they are the better option for a vehicle loan. To learn more, visit techcu.org or call them at 800-276-TECH. That's 800-276-TECH. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender. Offer may end without notice.
2 minutes until we get some more hoops here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Jay Simmons off to my right. I am Andrew Mild as the Lake Central Indians and the East Chicago Central Cardinals finish up their warm-ups. And Jay, you brought this up. That sectional that's going to be played here at East Chicago Central features these two teams. There's a lot of big names that are going to be here come March. I'm not sure who's going to walk out of here with a sectional championship.
It's going to be one of the tougher ones for a East Chicago Central sectional number one. You've got East Chicago. Now, this is just against teams before today's game. East Chicago is 5-0, Lake Central 4-0. Gary Westside 2-2, Maryville 2-2, Hammond Central 1-2, Munster 1-3, and to bring up the rear is Hammond Morton at 0-6. So that's all who's been playing each other in this sectional. So these look like a couple of the front runners, but you never know any given night.
Any given night, as we have 1 minute to go. But not only will Lake Central be playing for a sectional championship, we still have some games to be played. They have a big one coming up later this month against Crown Point High School in Crown Point. That could have DAC Conference Championship implications as they're currently tied for third with a few other teams.
Yeah, it's a horse race for the Duland Conference. You got Crown Point at top, and if you look at this Friday, Crown Point is at Valparaiso, who Valparaiso is 3-1 in the conference, Crown Point 4-1, and Lake Central 3-2, Maryville 3-2. Well, it's a look at it. Then you got Chesterton at 3-2. All of these teams still have a couple more games left, so it could be up to anybody here for the Duland Conference.
And we are getting set for more basketball action. So hopefully you went and grabbed some snacks, use the bathroom, because we are ready to go in this second half. You ready, Jay?
Yeah, I'm ready. You miss a second or two of this game, you're going to miss a lot.
So don't even blink. That's what you're saying, right? Don't even blink. East Chicago Central with a few touch-ups in their game plan as they'll go with their starting lineup. You see Jameel Rich, Keontae Bell, Marquise Winters, Dominic Murphy, and your Mari Wallace. And the same starters going for Lake Central: Gale, Beatty, Williams, Green, and Smith.
Yeah, East Chicago changing it up, coming into a 1-2-2 zone defense.
They're going to shoot the three, and Beatty gets nothing but net, back to an 11-point game, and that's what Coach Sexton was looking for coming out of the halftime break. It was a three to open up this second half and get back into this.
Yeah, Beatty had a guy right in his face.
And then you get a 5-second call, so you get a three and then some really good defense. Oh, man, here we go.
Lake Central pounding on the door, wanting back in this game. Get it under 10.
Well, we have to mention that when Lake Central took on Maryville, where they won by 16, it was really that third quarter where they really pulled away. They were up by 16 going to that fourth quarter. They feed to Smith. Smith gets blocked. Access denied by Murphy. Rich loses it. Here comes Murphy down the lane. And a finger roll for 2 points.
Yeah, nice hands right there by Murphy on the block. Bricklayers number 4, best hands in the business at BAC, local Indiana, Kentucky.
An errant pass.
You'll develop skills that will last a lifetime. For more information, visit baclocal4.org.
East Chicago Central is going to get the ball, as we see right here. The block by Murphy. Elevating over Jake Smith. Goes down the floor, gets the ball, and then rolls it in. East Chicago Central trying to make this a 15-point game would be their largest lead. Bell trying to attack with his left hand. He splits the defenders, but loses the ball in the process. It's a steal by Beatty. Beatty got a bad pass. Smith, pull up three, short.
Didn't set his feet well enough. Should have taken one dribble, set his feet up, get a little bit closer to the three-point line. Quick shot right there by Smith.
Lake Central usually a 35% three-point shooting team. They haven't made any yet. Murphy looking for his other three as he made one to open up the game. But that time he misses.
Yeah, Lake Central lives and dies by that sword. Right now they're really struggling from the three-point line.
You saw Coach Marui speaking with Murphy right before the buzzer sounded as Lake Central trying to feed their big man down low, the man in the middle, Jake Smith. But they can't get it to him. East Chicago Central sending their best defender. Smith, three, and he leaves it short again. That's the second time in a row where possession has ended to Jake Smith missing a three.
Yeah, that time East Chicago Central changing up the defense was in a 2-3 zone.
Rich attacking with a lot of muscle, showing off the strength. 5'11" frame, but plenty of strength behind that one. He'll go to the line for an and one opportunity.
And we have to see who picked up the foul. It's going to be Spencer Gale. That's going to be his third. He's coming out of the game.
That's now three different Indians that are in foul trouble. Gale, Williams, and Smith. I haven't said Williams' name an awful lot tonight, as Rich, who shoots 75% from the free throw line, can't convert, so we'll stay at a 15-point game. Cardinals still with their largest lead. Here's another three-point attempt, and it's a gained rebound by the person who missed it, Salvador. And Salvador with a push shot, and it was off.
It's an unwritten old-time skill to foul your shot right there. Salvador did a nice job. Just got to finish.
Bell trying to capitalize on the lackadaisical defense of LC, and he couldn't make the shot. And that will be an offensive rebound and 2 points for Zachary Green.
Yeah, nice job, Zachary Green, finding an open spot underneath the basket, puts the easy rebound back in.
Jay, are you a fan of all these threes that LC is shooting to start off this second half?
No, I am not. They've got to work that ball inside, try and get East Chicago in some foul trouble, and try and get to the free throw line. They are just settling for threes. If you're not hitting them, you got to work that ball inside, and I think East Chicago knows that. They're just letting them hit those, try and shoot those threes as often as possible.
Yeah, I think that's why East Chicago came out in that zone to force those threes, seeing that they were having a hard time from shooting from behind the arc. And another foul on Lake Central. This one will be pinned onto Salvador, his second. Team second.
Team second. I was just going to say that. You read my mind. But, hey, Central in control of this game, up 13 points, 4:35 left in the third quarter.
Zach Green made it a 13-point game after he cleaned up a missed shot. And here comes a shot by Bell. It's too strong. Winters gets up there, pulls it down. Wallace dials it up from three, and it was too strong. And Winters again with another offensive rebound. This is a third chance opportunity. Another three. No. Guess who? Wallace pulling down the rebound, and he gets hit right on the hand. Beatty, third team foul on Lake Central. As you can see the frustration on Beatty as he clapped his hands after he got his hand cooked.
Well, we don't know who's got more frustration, him or Coach Sexton.
Inbound play, and there's Dominique Murphy. He missed the three, but that time he was not going to be denied by the LC defense. He gets a deuce right there.
He's got a 5-inch advantage over Xavier Williams, so he's going to take that anytime he can get a 10, 15-footer with Xavier Williams on him.
You really see the size advantage looming for East Chicago Central, especially on the offensive side. 15-point game. Ties East Chicago's largest lead. Ball movement. Another three ball on its way. And Lake Central, man, that rim seems to be 10 times smaller than what it normally is. Nice moves, but the 10-cent finish by Rich.
Yeah, Lake Central's really got to start hitting some free. They are not going to stop until they do. And Nick Sabador hits the first one of the night.
Noah Sabador.
Oh, I'm sorry, Noah Sabador.
Oh, you got the end part right.
Yeah, there we go.
He puts it down for 3 points, 12-point game. Murphy going into an ISO, going up against Smith. Indiana All-Star versus Indiana All-Star. Look at Dominique Murphy.
Crashing the board.
He's got the Windex as he's cleaning the glass. Ball goes out of bounds. And I think Dominique Murphy might be on his way to his 8th double-double this season as he's breathing heavily after all that effort.
That Murph just has that motor, just doesn't stop on that offensive end.
I don't know if East Chicago Central has anyone that has a low motor, as you should say. Wallace tosses it up, and it goes right down. 14 game.
Wallace heavily contested, but still able to flip it in.
Yeah, he tossed it up and was able to tickle the twine. They're going to feed it down low. Murphy hands up. Winters was able to poke it away.
And you can see what East Chicago's doing. As soon as somebody gets it on the post, they're swarming, forcing that person to pass that ball out immediately and take the three. So Xavier Williams had 3 guys right on him, and Xavier Williams at 5'9". He's not the guy you really want to get into the post.
Well, Winters is going to head out. Williams going to check in, going for the tallest player on the roster. Rich Jr. going down the floor, and he went for the layup, and it hit the front rim. 4 on 5. Here's a three from Salvador, and it's no good. Over the back to Williams. That's his 3rd foul, as all the LC fans are standing up. They are in protest.
To say the least.
One of the fans had his palms up in the air and was yelling, "How?" And he held it for a long time. But that's a 4th foul on LC, none on the Cardinals.
It's just that size advantage on the inside. Looks like they're gonna call hold right there on number 25, Xavier Green.
Green will get his 2nd foul. And
Zachary Green.
With 2:07 to go, Gregory Williams will go to the line. He's a 38% free throw shooter. Hasn't had too many opportunities. But for a big guy listed at 6'7", he does have a smooth stroke.
Yes, he does. Very nice form.
Was watching his highlights for the preparation against Gary Westside Leadership Academy, and usually you see a 6'7" guy and they say, hey, go down low. That was old basketball. Coach Alan Marui has brought in that modern-day offense where it's positionless as Williams splits the pair. Smith pulls down the rebound, but he can shoot it.
Yeah, Coach actually wanted an over-back call right there on the free throw. Miss.
Lake Central swinging around the perimeter as looks like Murphy took one right into the gut. And that's the broad shoulders of Zachary Green being driven into Murphy as Murphy is holding his gut, got the wind knocked out of him. As Murphy's walking down the floor, holding his stomach with his right hand as
Murph tried to set for the charge, and it was just a physical contact right there. Him and Green ran into each other. No call.
Bad pass. Bell with a miscommunication to Rich, and the ball goes out of bounds into the ECC bench. And LC, they'll take as many of those as they can get. Unforced errors by the Cardinals.
Yeah, Lake Central's got to capitalize on this, man. Nope.
And Bell gets the steal right back after he committed the turnover. He goes for the challenge against Green, and he says, you got to jump higher than that. He gets the 2 points.
That's another Bricklayers' best hands in the business. Bricklayers Union 4, local 4.
3 ball, doesn't hit anything. That's an air ball.
Takes it coast to coast for the basket. Extends the lead by up to 15.
Murphy seems to be all right after taking a shoulder into the gut as he went down the floor and broke the press from LC. That was a risky pass, a bit of a gamble by Yamari Wallace, but good thing for him, Keontae Bell was able to bring that one down, as we will see a timeout burned by the Cardinals, and it is a 30-second timeout. 30. So we'll stay here. 52.6 seconds left in the third quarter. Thanks for tuning in to the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Andrew Mile with Jay Simmons. And Jay, this third quarter, it's been mostly Cardinals keeping their lead.
I mean, you look at the big guys. Dominique Murph, I mean, he's up for, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Lantern superhero of the game. I think Murphy's right in the contest, or in the middle of that contest. He's got to be right in the running for that award. And don't forget, they have offices open from 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturday until 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
He won it in their game against Gary Westside when they made that remarkable comeback. And it was a 2-point game. East Chicago had a chance to ice the game, and after a missed shot, it was Amari Wallace that brought it in, the offensive rebound, put it in. He also walked away with the Region Sports Network play of the game. That will also be passed out after the game tonight. So just stick around and see who walks away with those rewards. Beatty gets the ball right back as Salvador whipped it back to him. Back to Salvador. And there's Smith with the double team.
Collapse.
Salvador with another three-point attempt, and he falls over. A foul will be on Keontae Bell. Salvador is going to go to the line for 3.
Well, this is where they got to make some hay right here with the clock stopped, down by 15, 26 seconds left in the third quarter.
So 3 free throw opportunities for Salvador. One of those new rules in basketball where you have to give them some landing space. That was because of the Western Conference Finals a few years ago between the Spurs and the Warriors, where Kawhi Leonard went up for a 3 and landed on Jaja Pachulia. So really it's just for the safety of the shooter.
Yeah, it's a high-risk injury right there, a sprained ankle, something like that could always happen when you're coming down and somebody's underneath you.
Williams heading out. Winters coming in, as we would see Salvador shoot one more free throw shot here. He split the first 2. Can he go 2 for 3? Right now we're at a 14-point deficit, and 1 for 3 goes Salvador. And that's shocking. He's a 100% free throw shooter. Of course, that's a minimal size of attempts, but still, that's 100%. That's not easy. One more shot coming up for East Chicago Central. They're up 14. Wallace sees 3 Indians down in the lane. They get it back out. Rich going with his left hand, going up against Gale. He loses it. Ball goes out of bounds. 2 seconds on the clock.
Yep, they got to get a set play, either something for an easy look on the 3, or it looks like the coach wants asking to see if East Chicago should be getting the ball, but they are going to take it out of bounds.
2 seconds. Murphy spins, tosses it up, and it goes down! Oh my goodness, Dominique Murphy with a highlight play to close out the third quarter.
Wow, what a great shot. Spins and hits the 3 just as he catches it, spins up in the air, and bang, hits that 3. What a great shot. That's up for one of the plays of the game.
What can't he do? One more quarter to go. 17-point lead for East Chicago Central. As you're watching Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
And we are back in East Chicago, Indiana. You're watching Game Night in the Region on the internet at facebook.com/regionsports, youtube.com/regionsports, regionsports.com, and on the Instagram Live. You're tuning in on this Tuesday night. Wallace with a jab step. Wallace will get hacked. Salvador picks up another foul as Jay, this is the play we got to see before he went to a break.
Yeah, you get the ball out of bounds with 2 seconds left. Murphy just spins and bangs home the three to put them up by 17, and they're going to extend the lead right here, 49-32, with a couple free throws, see if they can extend it.
First free throw is good by Wallace, a 73% free throw shooter. He's been to the line a few times already tonight with a couple of and-one opportunities early in the contest. And he makes both. It's a 19-point game. Wow. Who would have thought? And there's Murphy. Man, oh, man, I'll tell you one thing, Jay. You can tell right there, East Chicago Central does not stop. But an interesting thing to note, that was only the first foul on Dominique Murphy. That kind of tells you the story of him, too. Not only is he a good scorer, he's also a really good defender, plays clean defense for all four quarters.
And, you know, he's such a length for Lake Central to overcome that he's been able to block 2 or 3 shots easily tonight without drawing any fouls. That's the second one on East Chicago at the start of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Rich Jr. was called for the hold. Of course, in basketball, it's a foul. In football, it'd be a 10-yard penalty. But no yellow flags in this sport. Lake Central trying to respond.
Yeah,
They're facing their largest deficit of the game. Smith, quick with it. He goes up quick. Can't hit it. Going up for the offensive rebound. He's still working. And Jake Smith showing off his big boy strength. Getting a couple of rebounds and 2 points.
Smith picking up his 12th point of the game. It's Lake Central extending the defense.
We see right here East Chicago Central in no hurry to attack this Lake Central defense. Currently in a zone, it appears. Jake Smith right in the middle of
trying to extend it, maybe get a trap out there.
And that will be another foul. The body of Zachary Green pushing Wallace out of bounds.
Yeah, Wallace tried to do a little Larry Bird impersonation, flip that ball over the basket. Wallace with 12 points on the night.
Larry Bird reference. Well, you think you're in Indiana?
Yes, I am.
Here's a shot. London Walker, usually shooting from behind the arc, but that time gets into the paint and gets 2 points. Back to a 19-point deficit for Lake Central. Smith, nice head fake there. Nice pass, and that will be 2 points for Xavier Williams, cutting from behind as East Chicago Central pulled up that back defender.
Yeah, Lake Central did a nice job. Jake Smith with a nice feed there. Xavier Williams going to the land of the Giants, able to make a easy 2 points.
The land of the Giants. Is that New York or San Francisco? Step back three, no good. And Lake Central will already get their third foul. We are a minute and 34 seconds into this fourth quarter. There's already 5 fouls across the board. 3 by the Indians, 2 by the Cardinals, and a timeout by the Lake Central Indians, a full timeout. We are going to step aside for a 30-second break. We'll see you back as you're watching Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
We are back, and Coach Marui is going to burn a timeout. This is just 30 seconds, so we can stay here. Didn't have time to introduce ourselves. Andrew Wild and Jay Simmons, as we'll get to talk about how this game has gone. For our listeners just getting into this game, Jay, take them through how East Chicago Central has been able to run away with this.
East Chicago has one great defense on the interior, and if you've watched in this second quarter or in the second half, that as soon as Lake Central gets the ball on the block, they are swarming down. Lake Central, I think, has had 1 3 ball so far tonight. They're forcing Lake Central to pass that ball out and shoot the three, which they have been very inefficient at.
Well, the one thing I found interesting while watching Lake Central's film preparing for this game against Maryville, it all started down low. And after that, when the defense started to collapse, then they'd get it back out. For East Chicago Central, they're forcing them to go out so they can go back in. So they're flipping it on
Yes,
them.
they are.
It's been working so far for him. Murphy with a forced shot, it looked like there. Hand right in his face as it hit the back rim. Lake Central, they still have some time underneath 6 minutes. They're down 17. They need a couple of these to go in. Won't go in. Jay Smith, guess who? Putting it back in after hauling in an offensive board. And we're back to a 15-point game.
Yeah. Bad foul right there. Picks up the Lake Central's 4th team foul.
They just can't stop reaching, it feels like. Wow. Zach Green will sit for the rest of the way. His 5th foul as Cooper Cronky has come in.
Green leads with 7 points on the night.
That's going to be interesting. Wallace down the lane. Yamari Wallace, he's just too strong. Going back to the line again, his 3rd and 1 opportunity.
And then I'm going to say, not official, but I'm going to say that's his 15th point on the night. Boy, what a great, strong hands right there for him to take that one, fight through the defense. That's a Bricklayers Local 4, best hands in the business. Join Bricklayers Local 4 and start building your career today. Visit baclocal4.org to find out more.
You think Yamari Wallace would give me his workout plan? I gotta get as strong as that kid. Man, oh man, going right into the teeth of the defense, and it's not deterring him. He keeps going right back in there and getting fouls. Ball out of bounds. It will remain with Lake Central on this side of the floor.
Yeah, a nice job right there. Wallace is popping the ball right out of Xavier Williams' hands. Slowing Lake Central scoring chances down.
Well, it's going to be Cronky, the sophomore guard. This at 5'10". This is just his 7th game played this year. Here's a 3. And Lake Central, they have struggled to shoot from behind the arc tonight. And the way that basketball is played nowadays, you got to hit your threes.
Yeah, and they have, I think it's only been 1 3.
There's a steal. Beatty going up against Murphy. Good fake there as Rich Jr. just flies by. And that's 2 points for LC. Good defense leading to great transition offense.
They've got a long ways to go with that defense.
Here's a 3 from the corner, and it goes down. Marquise Winters fed by Yamari Wallace. What can't Wallace do?
Xavier Williams quickly on the other end takes in an easy layup. But they can't match 3 for 2 right now, Lake Central.
Murphy. Oh, man, look at him go airborne. I just want to fly, Jay.
Oh, what a great job. He hit that lane wide open. Lake Central's defense just spread apart.
Mari Wallace with another 20-point game. That's already his 13th this year. And a holding call on Marquise Winters. We'll see how many that's on the senior forward. Just his second.
Only team's third foul. Lake Central already committed 5 fouls, so East Chicago will be shooting free throws the rest of the night.
Smith.
Didn't set his feet.
He has struggled. Usually a very good shooter. As there's another attempt, some long rebounds, but this time it's going to be won by East Chicago Central. Jameel Rich streaking down the floor to get that board. And then missed by Winters, being deterred away by Salvador. Speaking about Salvador, he's going to pull a 3, and Salvador showing off the clip as they believe they only gave him a 2 there.
But it looked like he was outside the line, but our angle was tough to see. Salvador, that's his second three-pointer. Well, I'm sorry. It was a 3. Okay, we're getting a confirmation from our. So it was a 3 ball, but that is his second.
Well, it's going to be 2 shots for Jameel Rich Jr. Rich is 75% free throw shooter, a transfer 21st Century Charter, a school that East Chicago Central beat earlier this year. And he has been a star point guard for the Cardinals. He's talking with Coach Marui about Jameel Rich Jr. And he says, we've just developed a chemistry, a relationship, a point guard and the head coach. And Marui, just 23 years old, Jameel Rich Jr., 18, just a 5-year difference. He says, I can get down to his level, be with him, and he trusts me and I trust him, and it's really worked out for them since he's transferred over.
Yeah, East Chicago has put the pieces together. They look like they're on a run. I think we talked about it earlier. They haven't lost a game since December, early December.
They are 14-4 on the year. They're 10-1 on the road, and Jameel Rich with the steal, and his shot was knocked away by Williams, but Williams gets him with the body. That will be his 4th foul.
Well, now you got Lake Central losing some starters to foul trouble.
And you might see Coach Ryan Sexton of Lake Central empty out his bench.
Well, and I think you got to make this point. The meat of the matter is Lake Central is 3 for 14 from the three-point line. That is, I think, the difference in the game tonight.
Do we have a percentage on that? I'm kind of curious what 3 divided by 14 is. The first free throw is good by Rich. That's 21%.
That is not good.
That's way below their usual percentage, which is 35%. 64-45 is East Chicago Central. Try and make this a 20-point game. Williams knocks over Dorian Beatty as he went down with the baseline, went for the scoop pass into the corner, but the referee had to call the foul as Beatty hit the floor hard.
Well, it wasn't in the act of shooting, so they're going to take the ball out of bounds.
And just the 4th foul, it's the last one to give for the Cardinals with 3:18 to go. And guess what? LC pulls a 3 and no good.
3 for 15 as the percentage goes down.
Continues to go down. It's already at 21%. Look at the handles on Wallace going up against Kroenke. Rich getting a few screens there. Seeing the double team. Nice pass to Williams. Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Around the side pass to a wide open Williams in the lane.
That was beautiful. A chef's kiss for Jameel Rich Jr. Put an exclamation point on this game. Smith jab step, and Jake Smith cannot buy a 3. He is a 36% three-point shooter, and tonight he's gone 0 for 5.
Well, we're keeping track here. 3 for 16 now from the three-point line for Lake Central.
Now they've gone underneath 20%. Wallace down low, and Murphy goes up strong and kisses it off the glass. 23-point game, and Jay, I think that's going to do it here.
Yes, it is. Well, Wallace to Murphy, what a great combination.
And that's what Coach Marui was telling me. Yamari Wallace might not pop out in the stat sheet, but he says whenever I need him to do in a given night, he does it. He's a guy that can step into any role, whether that be defense, scoring, facilitating. That kid is talented.
And a vision of the court right there to hit a wide open guy underneath the basket.
I know we've been talking about EC a lot tonight. You look at the scoreboard, 23-point game for the Cardinals as another shot is off for Lake Central. But Lake Central still having themselves a great season.
Yes.
They're still in contention and walking away with a conference championship. And Jay, there's a very good chance when they head into Sectional 1 come March, they're going to want their redemption against this EC team.
Oh, definitely. They'll meet somewhere along the line here in this sectional.
And Coach Marui.
I think one thing has been exposed, though, in tonight's game for Lake Central is the shortness of the bench.
Yes.
That has been exposed here tonight. You talk about Lake Central starters. You got 4 guys averaging almost in double figures, I think, from 8 points to 16 points. You have 4 of your starters at any given night. One of those guys can explode. But when you see these guys, when you see Lake Central getting into some foul trouble, it's not good.
See some fans starting to head out of here as we'll have just 1:49 to go. And don't forget, fans, after the game, we have some awards to pass out. One of them being the Crown Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crown Companies, the business professionals, and your Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374 and your RSN Play of the game. So 3 to give out. And then we'll give you the meat of the matter one more time before we send it off and get ready for another jam-packed week of athletics here on the Region Sports Network. So make sure you check it out every day. I know on Friday, getting sent out to Portage to see the Indians of Portage take on Chesterton. That should be a good one. And then semi-state for wrestling is going to be here in the gym of East Chicago Central. This ball gets knocked around, and it's a really fun time for especially upperclassmen. A lot of hard work trying to walk away with some titles under their belts.
Especially for the wrestlers. I've never wrestled in my life, but it looks like a fun, very intense few minutes on the mat.
Bad pass by Murphy goes out of bounds. Substitutions coming in for East Chicago Central with 1:24 to go. 23-point lead for the Cardinals as they haven't been at home for over a month. This is the first home game since January 2nd. And, man, they have sent a message to the rest of the region tonight with this dominating victory against Lake Central.
Yep, 9th win in a row. Had to double-check that. And in convincing fashion, it's sort of, they flipped the tables on Lake Central because Lake Central up to tonight has only been giving up 41 points a game, and they have taken it to the Lake Central defense tonight.
Well, Lake Central dominated East Chicago Central last year, as there's a nice move to the basket for Jacob Bill Meyer. He'll get 2 points. Bill Meyer, his first bucket this season.
Nice. And caught on Region Sports Network.
There you
the
go.
Only game in town.
Gotta get yours in there. He gets his, you get yours.
All right, there we go.
But last year, East Chicago Central made that change in January. And you had to think a lot of frustrated Cardinal fans were saying, you're going to trust this rich program with a 22-year-old in Ali Marui. Well, he has rebuilt this program all the way up, getting their 9th straight win, beating the team that they lost to twice when he took over. And both times they lost by double digits. One 56-45, a sectional matchup 70-55. And you had to think for Coach Marui and the East Chicago Central Cardinals that were on the team a year ago, this game was personal for them.
Oh, definitely. And it's it has definitely made them a bunch of happy campers after tonight's game. I'm trying to think. I know these are throwback uniforms for East Chicago. They go back quite a ways. I'm sure Mr. Ramirez, our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, will be able to tell me more or tell us more about that as this week goes on.
We'll expect a paragraph after the game.
Yes, or Rich Castile.
Jacob Billmeyer knocks down the three. He's got 5 points, a steal, a shot, and a foul. Noah Inyart, who had some minutes in the first half, will get to go to the charity stripe for a pair.
Yeah, Rich Castile working the stats behind us has said this is the early 70s uniforms.
Well, I'm looking up above us, and I'm seeing some 1977 state runner-up in 1977 and state champions in 1971. So I've been the early 70s. So good time to break out these uniforms. That's what Coach Maruri was telling me, Jay.
Trying to reach back into tradition of East Chicago.
Exactly what he said. He goes, such a rich history, not only Indiana basketball, but East Chicago Central basketball. He's bringing back the fans. He kept saying this thing called Cardinal Pride, and you're starting to see that Cardinal Pride tonight. A lot of fans packed into the gym as the Lake Central Indians are going to take a tough loss against the Cardinals, as they're still playing with the high motor. Got to respect it, playing for morale. Spin around jumper, and no friendly roll there. Grabbing down the rebound was Kroenke, and Kroenke pushes it in.
Yep.
4 seconds and a foul. So Keontae, no foul there.
Must have stepped on the line.
I'm wondering if Coach Marui might have used a quick timeout there just to reset, because Bell was in a really bad spot down there getting double teamed. Just one of those 5-second timeouts.
Well, you got to use them when you can. I didn't know they had the 5-second timeout.
Well, I guess it just got invented here on the Region Sports Network. Mark it down. They do that time in history. A logo three, and now we'll do it. What a game. East Chicago Central with a demanding 17-point win against Lake Central. They'll improve to 15-4 on the year and extend that winning streak to 9 straight. Lake Central will drop to 14-3. They have lost 3 of their last 4 games this season. And for East Chicago Central, they're walking off the court with their chest up in the air with a great sense of pride, Jay.
Yeah, what a great game by Central tonight. They clicked on all facets of the game. Their three-point shooting. They're taking the ball to the basket defensively, blocking some shots. Great job by Coach to convert it from once they started, Lake Central started working on the inside to collapse on the inside. Once they weren't making threes, they were letting them shoot away. I think Lake Central ended up 3 for 17, 3 for 18 with that last one from the three-point line. Not a typical Lake Central game.
Well, we're going to step away for a quick break, and we'll come back, give out some awards, get the meat of the matter, the closeout tonight, and then we'll send you on your merry way. Again, the final score of the Cardinals 70, and the Indians 53.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
How far would you go to live another game night in the region? Well, lucky for you, you don't have to go far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Region Sports so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on all of our social media platforms. Hashtag Remember the Region.
Welcome back into the Region Sports Network. Andrew Mild and Jay Simmons as we caught our breath after a thrilling game tonight between the Cardinals and the Indians. East Chicago Central gets the win by 17. And Jay, I want to go into the meat of the matter. What was the difference maker tonight, really the meat of the matter for EC to walk away with the win tonight?
You got to look at it. 25 for 56 in their field goal attempts, 45%. A lot of great looks on the inside by the two big guys. We talked about it at the beginning of the game. East Chicago's length is going to be the downfall of Lake Central. Lake Central just can't match up inside when you've got Xavier Williams, Garden Murphy at 6'6". There's just no way at 5'9". There's no way he can match up inside like that. So a lot of easy looks for East Chicago. Then on the flip side for Lake Central, I was off. They were 4 for 22 from the three-point line, 18%. Very untypical of a Lake Central team that is shooting 37% from the three-point line on the season.
And that is the meat of the matter, courtesy of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Now we have some awards to pass out. Of course, we got to start with our Crowell Lantern Superman Hero of the Game. And Jay, go ahead. Who won it?
And we're going to go with Murphy, 11 rebounds, 22 points, got the double-double, and he did a great job. Not only did he have a couple block shots in there as well, but we're going to give him something else, too, in just a few seconds here. But 22 points, 11 rebounds, a dominant game on both ends of the court. Defensively, his motor never stopped on the inside. Lake Central could not get any points in the paint, and when they're shooting that bad from the three-point line, you got to get points in the paint, and they just couldn't do it.
Murphy with an unofficial double-double, his 8th of the year. But you said he's going to get another award. That award is the Region Sports Network Play of the Game. This thing was nasty. He got the inbound pass with 2 seconds to go. You see it right here. Catching, putting the man through the spin cycle, toss it up. Got a little prayer in there, and it went in as East Chicago Central really hit the dagger to close out the third quarter and walk away with the win in the fourth quarter. And, of course, we got one more award to give out. Go ahead, Jay. Who is it?
And it is going to be Jake Smith with the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Smith for Lake Central, 7 rebounds, 14 points. Well, what a dominant performance in the first quarter. And, you know, he got in some foul trouble early in the second quarter, and that's when all of a sudden East Chicago opened it up. When he wasn't in the game, Lake Central had no answer for points. And I think that once they opened it up to about a 10, 15-point game in that second quarter, it was no looking back for East Chicago.
A good night for East Chicago Central. They are on their way, winning 9 straight games, getting ready for the sectional. We have some thank yous to give out before we wrap up tonight's broadcast. Of course, a big thank you to management, our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, operations manager, Rich Castillo, not only operations manager, but also did the unofficial stats for us tonight. Coordinating producer, Zach Miller, and sports director, Mike Dewan. Our producer, Justin Cole, and our camera, Milton Johnson. Coaches for both sides, Ryan Sexton of Lake Central, Alan Marui from East Chicago. The 2 athletic directors, Chris Inyart and Graylin Gordon, and all of the viewers on the Facebook.com/RegionSports, YouTube.com/RegionSports, RegionSports.com, and onto our Instagram Live. Big thank you to Jay Simmons for accompanying me tonight on this journey. I've been Andrew Mild, and to the rest of the region, have a good rest of your night, as this was Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Have a good night.